Yo, what's going on, folks? It's Godspeed here on the TenkaichiT.O.P channel. Today we're talking about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This game dropped with a lot of hype, but now that we players have some time to sit with it, you've seen both the highs and the lows. I'll break down everything from rank mode issues, gameplay mechanics, matchmaking to customization and story mode. Let's dive in and see if this game lives up to the potential, or if it was rushed to release too soon. Let's get into it. Alright, so first up, the rank system. Now, a lot of us were hyped to see a dedicated rank mode, but Sparking Zero has some serious issues here. One big problem right now is the overuse of After Image Strike. This move has become a go-to tactic for a lot of players looking to climb the ranks. It turns matches into frustrating cat and mouse chases where players just dodge and waste time instead of fighting head on. And speaking of wasting time, we need to talk about destruction point battles. Some players use cheese strategies to run down the clock without engaging, making these matches less about skill and more about avoiding attacks and stalling. This leads to a lack of variety in rank battles because you're forced to use the same handful of characters who can handle this kind of passive play. Characters like Vegito and Gogeta are on another level. Vegito's After Image Strike plus his sparking mode abilities make him a nightmare to fight against. And Gogeta's ultimate? It's insanely overpowered, even in matches that are already unbalanced. This creates a predictable meta where everyone's forced to pick these top characters if they want to compete anyways. Moving on, matchmaking in Sparking Zero has its own set of issues that really hold back the online experience. First off, you can't queue up against other people while you're in a room, which means you're sitting around waiting for one match to finish before you can jump in. The tournament mode could have been a cool feature, but it just doesn't get much use these days. Most players stick to player match rooms because tournament mode doesn't offer any real incentives or rewards that set it apart. Another major issue is spectating. There's a noticeable delay, and disconnects happen too often. When you're trying to watch friends or size up potential opponents, these delays and drops make it more of a hassle than enjoyable. Alright, so let's talk about the core gameplay loop. Sparking Zero's brought a lot of fast-paced action, and it's pretty fun, but it also has some big flaws. Matches tend to turn into vanish counter wars, with both players constantly vanishing and countering each other. While it can be fun, it also gets repetitive fast, and it's clear the game is built around quick, almost too efficient cycles that end up feeling a bit shallow. There's a huge emphasis on managing ki and rushing into sparking mode as quickly as possible. The intense focus on ki and rush tactics means we see a lot of ki spam, quick combo chains, and ultimate move finishes. It's intense, but sometimes it feels like it's moving too fast for its own good, losing some of the depth of previous games. Now this is a big one. Sparking Zero doesn't have a rollback netcode. In today's fighting game market, it's almost a must for smooth online play. Without it, matches are full of lag and delay issues that hurt the potential and natural healthy competitive nature that comes with a game like this. With so many players hoping for a solid online fighter, this feels like a huge missed opportunity. This game was clearly pushed to release alongside the new Dragon Ball Daima anime, and it shows. Unfortunately, it feels rushed and half-baked in a lot of different areas. The devs have been pretty quiet about most of the game's issues. We've seen one random patch to change Yajirobe's Sensu Bean ability, which barely impacts gameplay, while bigger problems like the controller input glitches and other stuff persist. Players are still able to leave ranked matches without penalty, allowing them to forfeit points and avoid losing to better players. This kind of exploit ruins the integrity of ranked play and should have been a priority fix. One of the last couple things we want to talk about on the channel here is the user interface. It feels like this is another area where the game really falls short. The UI is bland and lacks personality. Plus, the character roster is cluttered with multiple transformations of the same characters. It gets confusing when selecting a fighter and adds unnecessary bloat. When you compare Sparking Zero to games like Xenoverse or Raging Blast, the lack of customization options is obvious. We don't have nearly the same variety in costumes, color swaps, or accessories, which hurts the player experience and personalization. One of the last things we want to kind of just lightly gloss over is the story mode. I feel like there's some cool stuff here, but it doesn't really live up to its full potential. The what if episodes are a nice touch. You can trigger them by meeting special conditions in certain fights, which adds a bit of replayability, but there are only a handful of these, and they're not really enough to carry the whole thing. Story mode covers just a small section of characters and villains, and the storylines are extremely trimmed down. Fans expected a lot more, especially when you think back to Tenkaichi 3, which had robust story content, tons of stages, costumes, and more. For a next-gen game, Sparking Zero just doesn't bring enough to the table here. Pretty much wrapping things up, I want to just add a personal note that, don't get me wrong, we're still having a ton of fun with the game. I've had over 200 matches played in ranked alone, and that's just in singles. And DP, I've still been trying to make my way there, but I still want to be optimistic and say that they might do some more changes to the game and do some things to give us more life. But this is just our honest opinion and consensus when we've been playing the game over the last several weeks since the early release date. And yeah, we just really hope to see a lot more of a response from the devs and Bandai Namco and everybody involved, because we love Dragon Ball and we love Tenkaichi and we love Sparking Zero. So we're gonna just sum things up here with a quick conclusion. For the pros, we got fast-paced gameplay, intense action loops, unique what-if episodes in story mode, strong nostalgia with familiar mechanics and character moves. Cons, we got overuse of afterimage, stalling tactics, top-tier characters dominate, limiting variety, no rollback netcode leading to laggy online matches, limited matchmaking features in tournament mode incentives, rushed release with dev silence on major issues, bland UI and bloated roster with repetitive transformations, minimal customization options compared to similar games, story mode lacks depth, variety, and replayability. So, that about sums it up for our thoughts on the state of play for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, folks. While there's a lot of potential here, it's clear that some things need some serious improvement. Let's hope that the devs start addressing these issues, because the fan base is hungry for more. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more Dragon Ball content, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Once again, this is Godspeed, I'm signing off. Catch you on the next one.